Welcome to the Sports Dominion, and today I'll be talking about the greatness of the Williams sisters. From two girls hoping to make the big leagues to women who are undoubtedly legends in the sports of tennis today. Come on, some light has to be shined on the brilliance of these two sisters. And it can't be so easy in the sport. The dedication, the repetition, the resolve, the uniforms, oh God, the uniforms. Okay, change the subject. I won't be covering their life story, but instead I'll be covering their career highlights that landed them in the position that they're in today. None of this. So, in the quarterfinals in the 2015 Australian Open, Serena set the court on fire with a ferocious backhand. No. Just no. This channel is an overview of women's sports and entertainment. More highlights than analytics, even though there'll be a little analytic note here and there, and maybe over there too. You get the point. Let's run the intro.
When she was seated seventh.
Oh, Serena hauling herself back into that point.
In this channel's first installment of the Rack to Rack series, we are seriously concentrating on how this equation works for the Williams family. The answer will be near the end of this video. Keep watching to find out. Now let's take a couple of steps back here so we can understand where my interest in covering these women came from. I was always aware of the Williams sisters, but for me personally, when I heard they were doing a movie about their story, I was like, why not? First video, here we come, and I know we all have seen King Richard by this point. Right?
I'm out here. Richard. Oh, wow.
No, but seriously, these two have been putting in work from day one, and ironically, the most powerful moments in that movie is when we see Richard get beat down literally by the street gang twice, and figuratively by sponsors or coaches who refuse to support his ambition. But later in the movie, these conditions flip and the coaches start to come around, and they saw the talent in the young girls, even the street gang. It took a serious amount of reps and determination to flip people's perspective and bias they may have towards you. Sometimes I find myself doing the same thing where I have an unflattering expectation of someone simply by just the clothes they wear. For instance, if a guy walks up to me with the baggiest shorts and a jersey that can fit a whole bouquet of flowers and a watering, wait. It seems like I have a thing with outfits. You see this, I can accept that, but this, yeah, it just doesn't hit the same. But anyway, even though he looked like he was going to a cookout, he was always on top of the latest suspicious activity, news, happening around the latest gossip on the block. If it happened, he knew about it. You would think someone like this would be more laid back and reminiscent than aware of everything. The whole don't judge a book by its cover rings true many times. Not all, but many. Sometimes that opportunity has to be offered for that mold to be broken. Okay, back to the subject. Tennis and the Williams sisters. Let's get into the meat of this argument, shall we? Here's the categories for these athletes. Consistency, accomplishments, endorsements, and most important of all, charitable work. I'll be going over the 4 major tournaments and excluding the other tournaments to save some time. Beginning with Venus, She started off her pro career at the young age of 14. From there, she earned a whopping 49 titles, reaching number 1 rank on February 25th, 2002, and won a lot, but injuries derailed her career a bit. Thus, most of her single wins came in the early part of her career, tarnishing her consistency a bit, but this didn't stop her from racking up. She's holding 5 Wimbledon wins and 2 US Open wins in the singles category. She has 4 double wins at the Australian Open, 2 at the French Open, and 6 at Wimbledon, and 2 at the US Open. She has 2 mixed double wins accompanying these 2 titles too, one at the Australian Open and the other at the French Open. Not to mention she has 4 Olympic gold medals, and obviously winning brings influence. What kind of influence? Well, Venus was able to launch her own athletic clothing brand, Eleven, I think that's how you pronounce it. When on the court, you can spot her wearing Nike shoes and using Wilson tennis rackets. She has partnered with Tide, Crab, Electronic Arts, and Ralph Lauren as well. She's also supported Elevest, which is an online investment resource aimed for young women. Not to mention she has a stake in the Miami Dolphins. And what she does for the culture? Well, she partnered with the American Heart Foundation, Elton John, John A's Foundation, Serena Williams Fund, Great Ormond Street Hospital, and the Truth Art. Much like Venus, Serena started the grind at 14 years old. She had 73 single titles under her belt and was ranked number 1 on July 8, 2002. The same year as her older sister, but different from her in consistency, winning a generous amount of her titles in the later half of her career. Let's run down the stat sheet again, shall we? Serena is holding 7 Australian Open wins, 3 French Open wins, 7 Wimbledon, and 6 US Open wins in singles. She has 4 double wins at the Australian Open, 2 at the French Open, 6 at Wimbledon, and 2 at the US Open. Along with that, she has 2 mixed double wins, with 1 at the US Open and the other at Wimbledon. Not to mention her and her sister being the greatest doubles duo ever. Now I know what you're thinking. 23 Grand Slam titles and 4 Olympic gold medals? Oh yeah, forgot to mention that. Anyway, Serena endorsements have to be crazy, right? Right? Yes. Shall I name them all? We have Gatorade, Nike, Wilson, Delta Airlines, Aston Martin, Pepsi, Beats by Dre, JP Morgan Chase, Audemars Piguet, Bumble, Upper Deck, IBM, and Intel. Not to mention that she holds the title of Chief Sporting Officer for Aston Martin. My God. Oh, and she has a stake in the Miami Dolphins. Often considered one of the greatest in the sport, Serena has been associated with many charitable causes like Helping Hands Jamaica to build the Salt Marsh Primary School for Jamaican youth. She helped fund construction for a secondary school in Kenya. She's also an ambassador for the Allstate Foundation Purple Purse Project, which is a foundation that helps those facing domestic abuse. Let's give these 2 women a round of applause for their contribution to the culture. In the end, I think I can speak for most by saying these 2 amazing athletes changed the playing field for athletes across the world and did it against the odds. So do you know the answer to my earlier question? How does this equation work for the Williams family? Well, you need a tennis ball and a racket to play the sport of tennis. Playing a sport at a high level requires discipline and effort, and being willing to help others allow not only you to be great, but others around you to be great, equating wealth. Not only wealth that can spread across a family, but wealth that can possibly span generations. There's some food for thought. Anyway, it's your guy Chris coming to you from the Sports Dominion, and thank you for watching.